So I do think to get from here to there on Brexit will require a self-imposed crisis that can be ultimately at the last moment avoided, but nonetheless poses a real threat to the British economy and to derailing the potential of any agreement. And then also let's keep in mind that a lot of the technical aspects of what that agreement will look like will be punted until after the transition period is over. That means that you're going to have this process yet again to move out of transition, if you get there, into end state, what the permanent EU-UK relations look like. And that might, of course, occur with a different government than the one you have presently with Theresa May, which means that they might not be committed to Theresa May's negotiating stance on Brexit at all. It is really, really hard to come to terms to negotiate something this complicated with one of the most challenging supranational institutions in the world, the EU, and one of the most dysfunctional developed governments in the world today, the UK. It is the beginning of the end of Angela Merkel. The entire Grand Coalition is less than 50% of support in Germany. That is a dramatic weakening for the person who has been the most important leader, the strongest leader by far in all of Europe for the last 15 years. She has said that she is not going to seek to run again for her party's leadership. That comes in 2019. And certainly if another leader comes in, she can in principle serve as chancellor until 2021, but it's possible that that leadership will be called in 2019. And either way, the idea that Germany is going to be the single most important force and proponent for a more integrated Europe, a stronger Europe, open borders, free trade, just not something we're going to see going forward. That's a pretty dramatic change for the way we think about Europe. I think that the European Parliament is going to be much more divided. Since the European Parliament was founded, it was effectively a neoliberal group, the center-right and the center-left, in favor of stronger, more integrated Europe, in favor of open borders, free trade, a strong common market, and stronger institutions at the European level. I think that that is going to change in 2019. I think you will end up seeing a significant populist group that performs extremely well, coming from many, almost all of the European Union members, right? And when that happens, it means that the European institutions are themselves going to be more fragmented. Bottom up, we've seen the forces of nationalism grow in Europe since the Brexit vote, even since the election of Orban, for example, Viktor Orban in Hungary. But we haven't seen it from the top down in the European institutions itself. In 2019, that will change.